When you think about getting rich, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it a lottery ticket, maybe a viral startup, something loud, flashy, and, fast? Or is it something quieter, something a lot more deliberate? Well, today we're going to dive into this powerful idea of slow money and the 10 rules that can make it your reality. So here's the best way to think about it. Fast money, it's like fireworks. It's super loud, incredibly shiny, everybody looks at it, and then poof, it's gone in a second. Slow money, on the other hand, is like building a mountain, stone by stone. It's a quiet, steady process. It's solid, it's unshakable, and it's built to last. One is just a moment, the other is a permanent fixture in your life. And let's be real for a second. Slow wealth doesn't exactly sound exciting, does it? A lot of people look at it and think it's a sign that you're failing, that you're not getting rich quick enough. But here's the secret. Building wealth slowly isn't just a strategy. It's actually the smartest, most stable path to real, lasting financial security. And the rules we're about to go through, they aren't just a few helpful tips you can pick and choose from. You got to think of them as a non-negotiable constitution, your own personal doctrine for building a financial fortress that can protect you and your family for generations. So let's get into it. First things first. This first set of rules has absolutely nothing to do with stocks, bonds, or real estate. Nope, it's all about building the foundation where every bit of wealth actually begins, right between your ears. These are the core mindset shifts you have to make before any strategy is ever going to work. So let's start with the golden rule. Rule number 1. This is about a huge mindset shift. Stop focusing on how much you earn and start focusing on how much you keep. It's that simple. You could make $1 million a year, but if you spend $1 million in one, you're actually going backward. The entire game, the whole secret, is to make the gap between your income and your expenses as wide as humanly possible. That gap, that's where wealth is born. Okay, rule number 2 is all about mindset. You have to act like a professional. Look, the amateur dabbles. They jump between 10 different projects, never really mastering any of them, and their income shows it. The professional, though, they focus their energy on one core skill. They go deep, they become an expert, and because of that, their earning potential just skyrockets. So you have to ask yourself, are you playing this game like a professional or an amateur? And here's rule number 3, a total game changer for your mindset. Pay yourself first. Most people, they try to save whatever's left over at the end of the month, which, let's be honest, is usually zero. The disciplined approach completely flips that script. The second your salary hits your account, you immediately transfer your savings and investments out. First thing. Then, you just learn to live on what's left. It's a simple little switch that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so once the mindset foundation is solid, we need a blueprint. This is the nuts and bolts external strategy for how you actually go about building that mountain of wealth. Rule number 4 is all about debt. And look, debt isn't automatically evil, but you have to know which team it's playing for. Bad debt, that's when you borrow for things that lose value. Cars, clothes, fancy dinners. It's literally described as financial suicide. But good debt, that's smart leverage. That's borrowing money to buy assets that will make you more money, like a rental property or a business. Now that is financial intelligence. So what does a successful investment strategy actually look like? Well, rule number 5 tells us it's probably not what you see in the movies. It's not this exciting, thrilling gamble. In fact, a good investment strategy is a long and frankly kind of boring process. And that is a great thing. Real wealth loves patience. It hates speed. So if your investment strategy feels boring, congratulations. You are probably doing it exactly right. Rule number 6 is a big one, a strategic one about your environment. You have to audit your circle. This quote points to a simple truth. If the 5 people you spend the most time with are only ever talking about spending money and the next cool thing to buy, that's where your head is going to be. But if your circle is talking about growth, about opportunities, about investments, you are naturally going to be pulled in that direction. Your conversations literally shape your financial reality. All right, we have the mindset, we have the strategy, but a blueprint is totally useless without the builders. This final section is about the toughest part, but also the most important, the daily discipline required to actually do the work. And that brings us to rule number 7, a super simple but really profound discipline. Money loves to be watched. You just cannot control what you don't measure. You can't be financially blind. You've got to track where every dollar is coming from and where it's going. That awareness, right there, is the absolute first step toward taking control. Next up, the discipline of rule number 8, always be learning. I mean, think about it. The skills that got you to where you are today are not the skills that will get you to the next level. The world is changing so incredibly fast. You have to treat your mind like your number one asset and constantly invest in new skills. Because if you don't, you risk becoming totally obsolete. So, what's the deal with building multiple streams of income? Rule 9 demands a disciplined sequence. First, you have to focus. You pour every ounce of your energy into building and stabilizing your one primary income source. Think of it like this. Focused energy can drill through solid rock, but scattered energy can't even move sand. Only after that first source is solid as a rock should you even think about diversifying. So, we've got the mindset, the strategy, and the discipline. And that brings us to the final, huge, overarching principle that really ties this whole thing together. And that is rule number 10. And it might be the most important rule for the world we live in today. Stop looking at what everyone else has. Comparison is not only the thief of joy, it is the destroyer of wealth. Seeing other people show off their fast money fireworks is the quickest way to get you to give up on building your slow money mountain. You have to focus on your own path, run your own race.
And really, that's the core takeaway of this whole thing. Building wealth that lasts isn't some big single event. It's not a stroke of luck. It is the boring, cumulative result of small, consistent, disciplined habits that you do every single day. That's what builds the mountain.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Looking at this constitution for wealth, what do you think is the single hardest obstacle that stops people from actually committing to it? Is it the lack of discipline? Is it the constant temptation of fast money? Or is it something else entirely? It's a really powerful question to ask yourself on your own journey.